Hey, my name is Devin Ratoosh and I am a real estate agent in the East Bay, and today I want to tell you about closing costs. And this is one of those really boring financial topics, but it's really important, and most people leave it till the very end and they're surprised when they find out, oh, I have an extra $15,000 I need to put into this house. And so I just want to tell you a little more about that. We kind of do it in a very specific way. We're in Oakland here. This is Alameda County. And in Alameda County, Contra Costa County, the transfer taxes are done in a very certain way. And that is where the buyer pays for title insurance, the buyer pays for the escrow fee, the seller pays for the county transfer tax, and the buyer and seller split the city transfer tax. The seller pays the real estate agent commissions, by the way, as well. But these are different in different cities. For example, with the city transfer tax, it's 1.5% here in Oakland, 1.5% in Berkeley. El Cerrito actually doesn't have a transfer tax, so that can be a pretty significant savings for a buyer and a seller, because you're not going to have to pay that. But it's different, and so it's one of those things where you want to find out early in the transaction what those costs are going to be. Usually when I see it in this area, let's say it's an $800,000 house, we're usually talking somewhere around $15,000, but it can be dependent on a few things. For example, here we have private sewer lateral ordinances, and this might be way too much information, but basically what happened was we have these old clay pipes that the sewage runs through, and they're getting broken up by roots and they're damaged, they're old, it wasn't a good material to use in the first place. And so when it rains, it gets in the pipes, it inundates the sewage treatment plants, and so because of this they passed an ordinance where when a house sells or when you do a remodel, I think it's $100,000 plus, you have to replace these sewer laterals, and this can range anywhere from $3,250 to about $7,500. I've seen that in Oakland more, those higher prices. And so it's just something you want to consider beforehand, before you're putting in an offer and you have this extra expense tacked on. We got the police sirens going right now and the dogs are barking. But anyway, so just make sure you ask your real estate agent for a net sheet, just outlining all of those costs before you're in the situation where you're writing the contract and you're about to buy the house, just so you can really plan and prepare for it, and just make sure you're taken care of. So if you have any questions, always feel free to give me a call, send me a text, send me an email. I'm always happy to help.